I'm Doovie, and I am a type 1 diabetic. Disclaimer, that noise in the background is my Roomba cleaning up my floor, so we'll just try to ignore that. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I've been type 1 diabetic for 17 years this August. Wow. And I wanted to make a video just talking about some myths that a lot of diabetics hear. A lot of them are questions, a lot of them are statements, a lot of them are assumptions people have about diabetes, and when I hear these things I'm like, I don't know who told you that, but they're wrong. So I'm going to cover 6 of them. Myth number 1, people with diabetes can't eat sugar. So untrue, you guys. Diabetics can eat whatever we want to eat. It is not just about only eating lettuce and celery and carrots and maybe a couple pieces of fruit. You can eat whatever you want as long as you manage it with your insulin properly. So every time I hear this, it's usually in the form of a question. It's, can you eat that? Can you have that donut? Are you sure you can eat that cookie? Yes, if I give myself the right amount of insulin, if I manage it properly, I can eat whatever I want to eat. Thank you for the concern. But that is a total myth. We can eat whatever we want. Myth number 2, obesity causes diabetes. This myth I hear more in relation to type 2 diabetes. I'm going to talk about it in I'm going to talk about it in the context of type 1 diabetes. There are lots of theories about what causes type 1 diabetes. However, type 1 diabetes is not caused by obesity, and this is a complete myth. Myth number 3, insulin causes blindness. I have never heard this myth before. This is a new one to me, totally interesting. No, insulin does not cause blindness. I've been type 1 diabetic for 17 years. I'm not blind. I've had wonderful eyesight. I know several diabetics who've been diabetic for a long time using insulin. Never met one who's blind. If you don't care for diabetes properly, it can lead to blindness, diabetes itself. However, I've never heard that insulin causes blindness. That's a myth. 4, insulin shots hurt. This one is sort of a myth, sort of not a myth. So I have had many insulin shots in my day. I still have to take them sometimes. I mostly use my pump, but occasionally if my blood sugar is too high and not coming down, or if I'm having a problem with my infusion site, or if I've taken it off and it's time to change it and for some reason I'm going without an infusion site for a little bit of time, I will use shots. If you insert it at a specific angle at a specific location, for me, it doesn't hurt. However, sometimes it can be hard to do it properly, or if you just don't do it at the right angle at the right location, it can hurt. I've had some shots that hurt pretty bad. But never so much that I've cried because of the pain or had to go to the doctor because it hurt so bad or anything like that. And I have had many shots that I don't feel at all. So yeah. And also, you can insert a shot at various locations on your body. I most frequently do it here on my arm. And like I said, it just depends on where you put it, the angle you're coming in from, all sorts of things. Myth number 5, it's not safe for people with diabetes to exercise. What? Complete myth. I was a very sporty teenager. I did soccer, track, cross country, softball, dance, cheerleading, horseback riding, you name it, I probably tried it. It is not unsafe for type 1 diabetics to exercise. It can be unsafe to do a lot of physical exertion if your blood sugar is low or if there's a risk of it dropping low. However, it is not unsafe for type 1 diabetics to exercise. I'm not sure where this came from. It's actually recommended that type 1 diabetics and diabetics in general get exercise, just like eating well, managing your diabetes. It's part of diabetes management. So it is not unsafe for us to exercise. It is totally safe. Again, as long as your blood sugar is, stable and you've got it in check. So that's a total myth. Myth number 6. Wow, this one is interesting. People with diabetes are moody. I have only heard this one sort of through the grapevine or just like, more as like hearsay. I've had it directed at me a few times. Are you angry because your blood sugar is high? The answer is no. Don't get me wrong, if my blood sugar is super high or super low, sometimes I might notice a change in my mood in myself. So maybe I'll become super lethargic, or maybe I will be slightly more irritable sometimes. But that happened more frequently when I was really young. It doesn't happen to me as an adult. I've never heard that diabetes routinely causes mood swings or makes people moody. If you're moody, it's probably because you're moody. I don't know, you're grumpy, maybe you didn't have a snack today, whatever it is. Diabetes, I've never heard, is something that causes people to be moody. Alright, those are the 6 diabetes myths I'm covering today. Thank you so much for watching this video and for putting up with my Roomba in the first half of it. I will see you soon. Bye!